Hey guys and subscribers, welcome to Fantelligence Hub. Today we have a very fun lesson with loads of activities planned. When I mean loads, I mean 2 of them which are fully explained with steps and materials and instructions, and 5 others which are to go. So let's whiz through it and get to the activities. Today is the 5th of the 1st month, 2025, and the yellow is to learn about weather wonders. I am going to whiz through this, like I said, because I think that this is really straightforward. Weather is the condition of air and sky in a specific place at a certain time. It includes things like how hot or cold it is, and if it's raining or sunny, how strong the wind is, and how clear the sky looks. Weather can change quickly and is affected by the time of year, meaning if it varies on the seasons, like spring, summer, autumn, winter. The location, varying on if I'm in the UK, it's vouched to have more raininess than sunniness, and if I'm in Dubai or India, it near the equator, it will be vouched that there will be more sunniness than raininess. And other natural factors. It's what we experience every day, like a sunny morning or rainy afternoon, while climate is the usual weather in a place over many years. Here are some forms of precipitation, but 2 of them are just normal weather forms. So we have lightning and thunder. When I was little, I used to think that thunder was caused by thunder and lightning was caused by someone, a gardener, going into a shed, turning the light on, which bursted and made lightning, and then the gardener taking the wheelbarrow out, causing thunder. I could visualize it in my head. Hail, which is different to snow, which I'll explain in a minute. Snow, rain, sunniness and breeziness, and I counted this as a form of weather. But rainbows, this is a double rainbow over here in summer. Rainbows are formed by when your eyes, the water, so the rain, and the sunniness reflects. And that's what causes your eyes to see the rainbow. Now, hail and snow are different because snow, you can see that it's really, really, really soft and smooth, whereas hail is kind of like ice cubes. So, over the course of a few weeks, maybe you can find different types of weather and make a mood board about it, but of course you're going to have to take pictures. So, one is sunny, bright and clear skies with plenty of sunshine. It's warm and ideal for outdoor activities, but in some places, like holiday places like Dubai, Mauritius, Abu Dhabi, Australia, it can cause sunburn if precautions aren't taken. So, if you're outside on a sunny day, listen to your mum and wear sunscreen. Second is cloudy. Skies are covered with clouds, ranging from partially cloudy to fully overcast. So when I mean fully overcast, I mean grey skies. It reduces sunlight and often leads to cooler temperatures. 3 is rainy. Rainfall can vary from light drizzles to heavy downpours. It is essential for water resources, but can cause flooding or disrupt daily activities. So I think this is quite bizarre, actually. But there was a flood in the UK around lockdown, I think 2019, 2018, in July and August, because of the hottest time of the years, the manholes, they burst because it's boiling hot, and then when they burst, they let out water, which can lead to a flood. 4 is stormy. This includes thunderstorms, lightning, strong winds, and sometimes hail or tornadoes, which is a big precaution. It can cause property damage and hazardous conditions. 5 is snowy. Snowflakes fall and cover the ground in winter. It creates a beautiful landscape, but can disrupt transportation and daily life. If you're in, I don't know, somewhere like Alaska, precautions should be taken when it's snowing, because if it's snowing very hard, and when all the snow gathers up, it can cause avalanches. where bunches of snow kind of like go in like a bull stampede. They roll down and they can cause a lot of damage. 6 is windy. Stronger air currents from gentle breezes to powerful gusts can make temperatures feel colder or hotter and impact outdoor activities. 7 is foggy. Thick, low-lying clouds reduce visibility. It can make driving and navigation hazardous because you can't see, often accompanied by cool and damp weather. 8 is hail. Ice pellets, or ice cubes, but round, fall during thunderstorms. They can damage crops, vehicles, and buildings if heavy. Humid. 9 is humid. High moisture in the air makes temperatures feel warmer. It can cause discomfort and sweating, which is why when it's humid, I always wear shorts. 10 is dry. Low humidity and lack of precipitation create dry weather. This can lead to droughts and dry skin or airways. This is what I was talking about. When it's dry, mostly in summer times, low humidity, which means that it rarely, in a course of a month or 2 months, it is rarely raining at all. Even light drizzles. That's what dry means. It doesn't mean dry as in, okay, there's a light drizzle and the floor's a bit wet, but it's still really sunny. Dry means no sources of the water cycle, which I will talk about later, fall. So there's no precipitation, no whatsoever, which leads to droughts. 11, freezing. Extremely cold temperatures, often below 0 degrees, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, can form frost and pose risks like hypothermia or frostbite. So below 0 degrees Celsius, which goes into the minuses, that's where you should take precautions because that is classified as freezing. You always have to be careful because there is always little like ice kind of driveways that you can slip on, so be careful. 12 is blizzards. Severe snowstorms with strong winds and low visibility. These conditions are dangerous for travel and daily activities. And lastly, 13, dust storms. Strong winds carry dust or sand, reducing visibility. It can also cause respiratory issues for people and animals. Respiratory issues goes a bit into science, but it means something to do with your heart. How is weather formed? Weather is formed through the sun's energy, which heats the earth unevenly, creating temperature differences. Warm air rises, cool air sinks, and wind is generated, distributing heat and moisture. The water cycle contributes. As water evaporates, it forms clouds and falls as precipitation, combining with air movement and pressure to create various weather conditions. Over here we have a tornado, which doesn't look quite real, but I think it could be real. And there's a reason why it is behind all of the crops, because that shows you how much damage a tornado can make. We got to the fun activities. So, as it says, a fun activity. The materials needed are a clear plastic bowl or container, plastic wrap, so like a Ziploc bag, a small cup or jar, warm water, ice cubes, a marker or sticky notes is optional. Steps. 1. Simulate evaporation. So this is to do with the water cycle. Fill the bowl with warm water to represent a water source, like a lake or an ocean, just in a bowl. Set up for condensation. Place the small cup in the middle of the bowl. It should definitely stay dry. Cover the bowl tightly with plastic wrap, ensuring it seals the edges. So that's where you can use tape. It's optional. You can use tape to tape it down. 3 is create precipitation. Place ice cubes on top of the plastic wrap. Observe how water vapor rises, which is evaporation, forms droplets onto the plastic wrap, which is condensation, and eventually drips into the cup, which is precipitation. 4 is discuss collection. Identify how water collecting in the cup mirrors water returning to the Earth's surface. Now, well, we will do this, but not now in the lesson. Check out our link pinned in the video to go on to these activities. What consists of the water cycle? The water cycle is like nature's magical loop. Water from oceans, lakes, or rivers heat up and turn into water vapor, which is evaporation. It cools in the sky and forms clouds, which is condensation. When the clouds get heavy, and they get heavy because the water droplets get so cold the higher up they get, so they all group together because they're so cold. Kind of like penguin huddles, but they don't swap places every other few minutes. They just stay in one place until the cloud gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and water falls as rain or snow, which is precipitation, and collects back in rivers or oceans, which is collection. Then, since the river or lake or ocean is fueled again with its water, the water cycle starts all over again. All types of weather facts. Why do we need weather? It helps us plan our day. Farmers rely on weather for crops. Understanding weather helps us prepare for natural disasters. So that's why we have apps like Weather and Met Office to actually predict the weather using some fancy technology. And predicting the weather can tell how your day will go. A few disastrous weather forms. Hurricanes, strong storms with high winds. Tornadoes, which are spinning funnels of wind. And blizzards, which are heavy snowstorms. How do we measure weather? Thermometer, which measures the temperature. Rain gauge, which measures how much rainfall there is during storms. This is a hard one to say. Anemometer. So, anemometer measures wind speed, and barometer, which measures air pressure. Here are a few fun facts, and few in my classification means 10. Raindrops aren't tear-shaped. Despite popular belief, raindrops are shaped like tiny hamburger buns or round blobs, so they're not really tear-shaped. Lightning is super hot. A bolt of lightning is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun, reaching up to 30,000 degrees Celsius, which is 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that explains why when lightning strikes, it hits trees sometimes, and it can start forest fires. Snow isn't always white. Snow can appear red, green, or even orange if it mixes with algae, dust, or pollutants. I'm going to go with that. Algae is a sort of thing where you find on, I think, shallow surfaces of little marshes and stuff, and lakes at the bottom of the lakes, oceans, and rivers. So if you ever go to Dorset, you should go to their rivers everywhere, because they have a lot of algae, which is also a precaution because you can slip. But if it's snowing somewhere with algae, it can turn green. So be aware of that. Clouds are heavy. A single cloud can weigh over 1 million pounds, but their weight is spread out across tiny water droplets. So that's what we were talking about earlier. The windiest place on Earth. Antarctica, the North Pole, where Santa lives, holds the record for the strongest winds, with speeds reaching over 200 miles per hour, which is 322 kilometers an hour. Hailstones can get huge. The largest hailstone ever recorded weighed about 1 kilogram, which is 2.25 pounds, and was the size of a volleyball. Let's play volleyball with it. Rain can be fishy. In rare cases, strong winds can lift the poor fish or frogs and rain them down. It's called animal rain. So, when they say it's raining cats and dogs, in rare cases, they sometimes mean that. Earth has many mini tornadoes. Dust devils, good name, are like small harmless tornadoes. and often form in dry, hot areas. A year-long storm. This sounds a bit weird. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a storm that has been raging for at least 300 years and is bigger than Earth. Weather can make sounds. Ever heard thunder rumble for over a minute? It's called rolling thunder, almost like rolling stones, caused by sound waves echoing in the atmosphere. That is pretty cool. Another fun activity, which I will be demonstrating in the link below, so be sure to check that out. A fun activity. Materials needed: a plastic bottle with a cap, e.g. 2-litre Coke or soda bottle. Water, dish soap, glitter or small particles, optional for visual effect. So this is making a tornado. Fill the bottle. Fill the plastic bottle about 3/4 full with water. So you can divide it in 3 in your head and fill it up too. Add soap. Add a few drops of dish soap to the water. Optional step: sprinkle in a little glitter to make the tornado more visible. Why do we add soap? You can do it with water, but soap makes it bubble and foam. Seal the bottle. Screw the cap on tightly to avoid leaks and create the tornado. Hold the bottle by the neck and turn it upside down. Quickly swirl it in a circular motion for a few seconds. Stop swirling and watch as a mini tornado forms in the water. This doesn't say it here, but it's optional, and I've tried this before. What you can do is you can even take a video of it with slow-mo. Trust me, the result is amazing. You should definitely try it out. A few more activities you can try out. So these are the 5 more activities to go. Build a rain gorge by using a plastic bottle to measure rainfall during a storm. Make invitations for cloud watching contest. See if you can spot animals, shapes, or even faces. Make your own DIY rainbow at home by reflecting a flashlight to a glass of water with a mirror inside it. Make your own wind chime by recycling bottle caps and even stray pieces of wood and attach it together and hang it outside to make your own wind chime. So a wind chime is something to, I wouldn't say necessarily measure wind, but I'd say weather making its own music. You attach things together, things that will make a sound if they clash. So for example, Tesco liner scale and a mouse. When they clang together, they obviously make a noise. So weather can do what it wants with the wind chime. I'm sure it will be not to destroy it, but to make music with it. Freeze small objects in ice so that when they're frozen, you can excavate them with warm water or your strength. I used to do this all the time when I was little. Instead of buying those little excavating things with little gems in them, you can freeze small objects, like, it can even be edible things, like a bit of lemon or lime, and you can freeze them in ice so that you can excavate them out with warm water or your strength. That's it for today. Like again, and click the link below you, because that will tell you what to do with most of these activities. So, bye and see you next time. Bye!